Evelyn, hello.
Hello.
I want to congratulate you on this opportunity with the PFL. Very exciting stuff. What was kind of,
Yes, it is. Thank you.
what was the feeling like of, getting this opportunity at only 19 years old?
Oh my God, the feeling it's amazing. At first I couldn't believe, because I was trying to fight and find an opponent, and then to fight. And once I received the opportunity, I was like, oh my God, my time it's now. So I'm gonna take it, and I'm gonna do my best. So I'm very happy with this opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And what has kind of been the reaction from all the friends and family? I'm sure they were very excited for you.
My family was super happy with me, my parents and sister, my friends, when they found out when I posted, they were like, congratulations, Evelyn, you deserve it. You've been working so hard. And they were just happy with me.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, did you kind of expect to be a part of something like the PFL so soon? Obviously, got to get through the Challenger Series, but still, this is
Uh-huh.
the first step, right? Did you think it would come this fast?
I was waiting on something to come on my way, but I wasn't sure it was gonna come right now. But I think it's God's plan. Everything comes on the right time. So I think this was like the best time this could have ever happened to me.
Yeah, everything happens for a reason, right? So it's lining up
Exactly.
the right way.
Yes.
Yeah. And as I mentioned with the Challenger Series, it's kind of like, the step before the big step, right? To get into the actual tournament portion. So do you kind of like this a little bit better in terms of, maybe you're relieving some extra pressure that you're getting to debut for the PFL right now instead of jumping right into the tournament? Is that a little bit nicer this way?
I think it's great in both ways, because I think if you really want to do something in your life, like fight in a big organization and do great fights, there is no pressure, That's the way I feel. And I think it's just nice, anyways. But I'm really, really happy that I get to show my work even before the real thing, like in the challengers, I get to show something now.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, my cat wants out real quick, so let me get him out of here.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. No problem.
Say hi.
Hello.
I knew he was gonna want to leave right as we started. So
Okay.
very chunky boy, but anyway, yeah, Evelyn, and this will be your debut at 155 too, right? Been fighting at bantamweight, so
Yeah.
is it kind of nice to not cut as much weight? I'm sure that's always a good thing.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's something really, really different, like the week before, the real fight week, I used to be like more focused and cutting weight and all the stuff. But right now, and I just feel like happy and comfortable with the weight. And all my trainings I did good because I was feeling strong, and I feel happy fighting on 155 as well. I mean, obviously, I needed to change some things like nutrition, the way I train it, and everything else. But uh, thankfully, and my body is responding so well that I feel amazing.
Yeah, well, that's good. And I mean, I'm sure it allows you to focus more on the actual training rather than, the weight cut more. I know you said the dieting right there, but probably less as much of a hassle as normally.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Because fighting at 35, it's good. I do the whole thing, cut weight, feel good, feel great. Um, feel faster fighting. But still, like I said, my body reactions it's reacting so well that I still feel fast. I still feel great. So, anyways, I'm happy to be fighting on 55 too.
Definitely, and excited to see it. So, taking on Jackie Cataline here in this matchup. Is she somebody you've had your eye on, or is this just what do you think of the matchup? Obviously, everybody coming in to make a statement here, but what do you think about the fight you got?
What I think about her, that obviously she's making her MMA debut, right? But she's an amazing wrestler. Like, I can say that, you know. Um, if you Google her name, you're gonna find a bunch of things of wrestling tournaments, national wrestling tournaments, and I think it was a great matchup. You know, people wanted to see interesting fights with interesting athletes. I'm 19 years old, 2-0 as a professional MMA fighter. She's a great wrestler coming to do her MMA debut, so I think it's gonna be a very interesting fight. You know,
Yeah, and
so I
you
think it was a great matchup too.
yeah, and you were coming in a replacement for this one, right?
Yes, I'm coming replacement. Yes, because she was supposed to fight against I don't remember the name, but it was another girl, and then I don't know what happened, but I came in.
Okay, so is that kind of, do you like that more? I mean, obviously it's less time to prepare and wasn't like the original plan, but some people take that better as, a better opportunity to surprise, I guess. I don't know. How do you look at it?
I did like it. I did like it. I feel comfortable with, because as soon as I found out who was I was gonna fighting, I was going to fight against. I came with my coaches. We talk about it, and we okay. We gotta work on this and that, and then I feel pretty much comfortable with. It wasn't a problem for me, to find out, you know, with less time.
Yeah.
Let's say like that.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I still had like a great camp, great couple of weeks to train and get ready. So it wasn't a problem at all.
Right. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready, right?
Yeah, I was actually training, before they offered me the fight because I was in training camps. I am in training camp since last year
Okay.
because I was supposed to fight December, but unfortunately, right before the fight, the girl I was supposed to fight with, she had something, she passed out, and then the fight got canceled. So I didn't fight that day, but I took like just a week off because I was like tired from the whole training camp. But
Hmm.
right after that, I came back and start everything again because I was like, you know what, I just gotta get ready, and then if anything happens or shows up in my way, I'm gonna take it, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
You know?
It really worked out. So I love how it
Yeah.
comes together that way. And, this will be the first time a lot of fans have been exposed to you, Evelyn, very young in the career still. So what are you kind of hoping to show, those people who don't know who you are? I mean, obviously you want to get the win, but are you thinking about performing in a specific way, or is it just like, I just want to get the win and then whatever else happens, happens?
I do want to get the win. That's all the athletes wanted to do. But I think people are gonna get surprised with me, because 19 years old, the age is super young and all the stuff. But I think it's gonna be great because they get to see me fighting, showing to them the level I am right now, even if only 19 years old. Because for me, the age exact doesn't matter that much. But still, I know when you're old, you get more experience. But I know the experience I have because I've been fighting since I was like a little girl, like 12 years old. And then when I turned 18, I came to professional MMA fighting style. But I think people are gonna get surprised with me, because the level I am right now, training with top level fighters, at ATT, and people gonna get surprised the way I fight. I think they're gonna like it very much.
Yeah, I think so too. And I mean, just having watched your fights so far, I noticed that you have some very slick trips from inside the clinch, Evelyn. Very fun to watch. Just kind of how did you develop those?
Um, training, you know, you what do you mean the clinch? When the fighting style and
Yeah,
the stuff. That's
your
what I
your
mean.
trips in the clinch are very nice.
Yeah, thank you. I've been like I said, I've been fighting since I was 12 years old. So I've been fighting a lot of things. For example, I already fought kickboxing. I became the kickboxing champion in Brazil when I was only 15 years old. I mean, 14 years old. And then I fought Muay Thai. I fought pro boxing, and then I went to jiu-jitsu tournaments in here, and then I also fought judo. So I've been training a lot
Hmm.
of things. So when I became a professional MMA fighter, I was like happy to put everything in one place, you know.
Right.
So basically, I can do those tricks because of that, because I've been training so much, like drilling every day that when it comes to fight, it happens, you know. So
Yeah.
that's why.
So you're kind of already doing it before mixing it all together, right? Doing the martial arts before blending it together.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, very cool. And at a young age of 12, so I mean, how did you kind of get into it then? Was it like your parents wanted you to know how to defend yourself, or did you know somebody? How did that kind of happen?
It's a funny story. It's a funny story because my parents, my father, he trained in jiu-jitsu and capoeira in Brazil for a very long time, you know. He still does train in jiu-jitsu, but his brother, which is my uncle, he used to fight MMA.
Mm.
Um, on the beginning of the sport, my mother, she didn't like that much because she used to say, "Oh, he was aggressive." She even took me to do some ballet classes, dance classes, and all the stuff. But I told her that I wanted to do Muay Thai classes instead. And then it's funny because in the beginning she didn't like it, but she was the one that took me to train. Can you believe it? Because at the moment that people were noticing more about Muay Thai and striking classes, they said, "Oh, it's good for your health. It makes you, you know, lose more weight and all that stuff." He was like, "I'm gonna do it." I was like, "Mommy, if you're gonna do it, I want to do it too." And then she actually started taking me and my sister to the gym to train. But my like I said, my father used to fight a lot of jiu-jitsu. My uncle, he used to fight MMA as a professional, and I think he runs in the family too, you know. So that's where we started.
Yeah, wow, very cool. And I mean, did it take your mom a little bit to kind of support you, I guess, fully at the beginning? Because, I'm sure she was like, oh, I don't know if I want my daughter getting hit
No,
all the time.
because no, it's not that she wasn't supporting. It's just like, you know, motherly. I
Right.
don't want you to get punched or something like that. But I trained it like for a month, and then the coach that I used to train with, he offered me a fight, and she didn't even say no before. She came to me and asked, Evelyn, do you really want to do this? Do you want to fight? Your coach just called me. I was like, oh yeah, mommy, I wanted to try. I'll do it. And then since my first fight, I didn't stop. You know, till the day she gets nervous, she gets, you know, of course, worried
Right.
about it, but she supports me full time. You know, I would say that my parents and my sister, they were like my number one fans. You know, they support me all the time.
All right. Yeah, that's great to hear. It's definitely that kind of thing where you care so much that, it's you want to support, but you don't want to see him get hurt, right? So,
Yeah,
oh, very cool stuff there. And
yeah.
with ATT though, Evelyn, did you move to go to the gym like right as you started your career, or was it a little bit after? When did you make the move to Florida?
To Florida,
Hmm.
I came to live in Florida when I was 15 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and then I started training here in Florida, and then for a couple of years I trained in Florida, and then when I turned to the pro, when I turned 18 years old, I mean, I went to straight pro,
Mm.
and then when I did my first fight, I moved to American Top Team.
I mean, just what has it been like kind of working with that gym and everybody there? Because there's so many talented people. And I saw that you were in Ariane Lipski's corner for her last fight, right? And I'm sure,
Yes, I was.
yeah,
Yeah,
what is
she's
it?
my friend. Yes.
Yeah, very cool. So, I mean, so much talent around you. I bet it's just an amazing experience to be a part of that gym, right?
Yes, it's amazing. You know, I get to learn every day from amazing athletes. You know, not just from amazing coaches, but also from amazing athletes that has me all around the world, fighting and seeing different fighting styles. So it. You know, I'm glad to be training at with them. You know, and learning from them. So I'm very happy to be with them, sharing the same match, sharing the knowledge. It's just so great. You know, it's a great feeling.
Yeah. And is Ariane going to be in your corner for this fight?
Unfortunately, we can get much corners. You know, But we were friends, and then I went to her corner last fight because I was helping her in during the training camp, and then it was amazing, to help her to get the feeling of the fight and everything else. But this time, I'm focused on my training. She's focused on her training too, and then but we she's so nice. We train together like almost every day.
Hmm. Oh, maybe for the next one she can make it. Obviously, the conflict of
Yeah, because
schedules.
we can yeah we can have much of partners right now.
Yes,
So
indeed. So, did you have any, maybe inspirations when you were starting with mixed martial arts? Like some fighters that maybe were your favorites or you looked up to when you got into it? Obviously, I'm sure, family members like you mentioned, but outside of them?
yeah, um um I started fighting striking first,
Hmm.
but when I watched the first MMA fight that I ever watched, it was Ronda Rousey against Jamisha
Okay.
Tate, like in the very beginning. And then I
Their Strike
remember,
Force one or the rematch?
I don't remember exactly because I was so little,
Right.
but I think it was a rematch in the UFC already.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I watched the fight, and then I was like like so impressed to see the girls working on it and put the fight on. I was like, that I looked to my parents. I was like, Mom, Dad, I wanted to do this so bad right now. Like, I wanted to try everything else together. I wanted to see how I'm gonna feel, about it. And my mom and dad took me to train, and then I like it. When I started mixing up, I was like, this is what I wanted to do. I love striking, but I wanted to do this too. So it's when I started doing MMA, the classes that I started also training jiu-jitsu and judo, all the stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, awesome. Not a bad fight to start with. I mean, either Misha Tate or Ronda Rousey always had very fun fights. So
Yeah.
very cool. But
But I also remember when I was little, I watched a lot of Anderson Silva's
mm,
fight. The Brazilian guy. So I remember a lot of his fights. That guy, he's just so awesome.
yeah, well, I mean, I was going to mention that to you. It's like you look at the Challenger Series here in the PFL, and I mean, just the PFL lightweight division in general has a lot of representation from all over the world. These girls from many different countries, you name it, and there's somebody from there, right? And you're representing Brazil. So, like,
Hmm.
how important is that for you to kind of show the strength of Brazil and the lightweight division for the women?
Um, is it, I think it's very important, because the only girl, I mean, representing Brazil in this new platform that PFL just created, which is the Challengers. And I think it's amazing, to get the opportunity to fight for them on the Challengers, um, and also to represent Brazil and be the only Brazilian. I think it's great.
Yeah, definitely it adds a little bit something to the opportunity, right? To make it all the more special.
Yeah.
So it is awesome to see. But outside of MMA, Evelyn, I mean, you mentioned your mom wanting to get you into ballet and that kind of thing. What are
Oh my God.
some things that you like to do outside of MMA? Are you into dancing? Did you ever get into that? Or what are some things you like to do that aren't
And
punching people in the
let me
face?
tell you some. Let me tell you something. The only dances I might know today is the TikTok dances,
Okay.
because I'm not good at it. I'm
Right.
not good at it. But I like to ride horses, and then I like to play soccer. You know, when I was like before 12 years old, when I was like super little, I used to say I used to say that I was gonna be a soccer player. And then I met the MMA, and then I met the kickboxing, and I was like kind of switch it up my
Right.
mind a little bit. But I like to play soccer very much. I like to hang out with my family, with my friends. I like to go to the church, you know, and train very much. That's how I do actually.
Hey,
But
got it.
outside training, I like to hang out with my family, go to the church, and then play soccer a little bit and ride horses. I like it very much.
Very cool. Can't go wrong there. Keeping busy with just the passions, right? So,
Yes,
yes,
yes. I
very
think I
nice.
think it's very important. If you like something, you gotta do it. Things you like. So
Yes, yes, I agree totally. Follow the dreams in a way. So,
yes, yeah.
But all right, Evelyn, I won't keep you any longer. Very excited for the fight coming up. Just the whole season, PFL really cool with how they do the season format, and I'm sure you'll be watching along, and I'll be watching along for the Challenger Series with all the fights. So just thank you so much for taking the time. Appreciate it greatly. Hope you have a great rest of your Friday and the week leading up to the event. It was great getting to chat with you for the first time. So I'm sure maybe we'll catch up again down the line. But until then, I wish you all the best.
Of course, of course. No, thank you for having me. I really appreciate you, for having me, having this conversation, and you get the chance to know me a little bit better. And yeah, of course, I think we're gonna chat again. Maybe after the fight, we'll see.
We'll see what happens. So.
Yes, of course, of course.